making sure that everyone in its insane strategy to combat poverty, the World Economic Forum includes XRP, airdropping XRP to all 8 billion people as part of a clandestine plot for a universal basic asset. No, this is not philanthropy. There has never been a wealth transfer on this scale. Andrew Yang, Bregman, and Elon Musk are among the thinkers and tech millionaires who have supported UBI at various points. The concept gained furthermore traction during the CO-19 pandemic, when numerous countries provided direct stimulus payments to their citizens. However, the thing that's the current state of UBI is flawed. Not only is it expensive, but also leads to inflation and openly divides people. Governments face a number of economic risks if they print more money to provide universal basic income UBI. The concept of UBI, or universal basic income, has emerged here as a digital equivalent of UBI. States and international organizations might distribute XRP or another scarce, value digital asset that causes prices to fall rather than create more fiat currency, which is elective policies that cause prices to rise. There would be a shift in wealth distribution away from concerns related to price growth. Further, this may ensure that every individual on Earth has a long-term financial interest in the emerging digital economy. Important matters are on the line. We have never before discussed the prospect of all 80 people using a decentralized blockchain-based financial system that they collectively own. The question, therefore, becomes, why XRP and not another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum? For what reason not? To find out, let's examine XRP's unique role in the blockchain ecosystem. XRP's original intent was to serve as a bridge currency. This means it can be utilized to make cross-border payments quickly and cheaply. Up to 500 transactions per second can be processed by its ledger, which is termed the XRP ledger. Almost no cost apply, and deal settlement takes less than 5 seconds. It is environmentally friendly, unlike proof of work systems. It has already found use among the world's banks and other financial institutions. Why does this hold even greater intrigue? The reason behind this is that XRP's creator, Ripple, has spent years developing solutions for governments and financial institutions. Our XRP blockchain, the foundation of central banks' hidden ledgers for digital currencies, is their technology stack. Imagine for a second that international organizations like the World Economic Forum or national governments chose to spend their existing XRP holdings or purchase more XRP on the market to distribute to every person on the earth. Even a little quantity of XRP, say 100, would be distributed to each person, making the total amount 800 billion. At this moment, the market value of all XRP exceeds that. When XRP suddenly becomes desirable by billions of people rather than millions, what will happen? The price would skyrocket if it's spread out intelligently through time. The psychological impact alone may cause an unprecedented retail adoption, institutionalized rate of missing out, and immediate buying frenzy. Let's take a closer look at the math. At the moment, $1 is worth less than XRP. Imagine the unfathomable price explosion that could occur if global demand surged to the point where 8 billion individuals were handed XRP and more money was poured into the market by institutions, sovereign wealth funds, and central banks. The value of XRP might range from 50D to 500 in this scenario, particularly in the event that the asset serves as the de facto medium of exchange for a brand new global digital economy. And believe it or not, this isn't completely out there. Direct transfer of digital assets has previously been proven to be effective. Bitcoin was distributed to individuals in El Salvador. The government has begun testing CBDC systems, which lets citizens to transfer and receive funds and QR codes and digital wallets. Everything needed to construct is already present. Connectors and other built-in capabilities of the XRPL enable smart contracts to manage logic for tasks such as pending funds, vesting of tokens, and transfers that occur automatically. In conjunction with government-issued digital wallets, biometric ID systems, and decentralized ID protocols, this provides nearly all the necessary components to establish a secure and extensible universal basic asset scheme. Obviously, making such a significant shift wouldn't be a picnic. Considerable issues arise when considering government regulations and technological advancements. Tell me who is responsible for the dissemination. Will governments have to keep an eye on XRP wallets? To the contrary, would individuals genuinely be competent to manage their own health, give to billions of people, and how will anti-money laundering and know your customer regulations function? Fearing a loss of influence over global politics or their own finances, some nation may choose not to join the program. The truth is that the program's structure and the people in charge of it would determine the answers to these valid queries. With Ripple and its network of partners, a public-private partnership might be formed by a collection of nations or organizations worldwide that are organized by the UN or WF relationship. A shared pool of XRP could be added by any government for use in smart contracts. After that, individuals may verify their identity and claim their portion using a secure wallet system. For those without a digital ID or internet connection, there could be transfer points or assistance services established up. Eventually, this would usher in a fully digital economy where users may transact in goods and services, save and invest, and amass vast fortunes through the blockchain. This is about more than simply money, and that's the most intriguing part. The ideas are equally important. It's critical to consider equitable means of distribution of wealth beyond simple factors like where you were born or your parents' socioeconomic status. The plot is altered by a common everyday object. Once it has been made, it can alternative, it restores ownership right away. This modifies people's relationship with the global monetary system and reduces poverty simultaneously. It may be considered overly idealistic, risky, or impractical by some. Socialism is what they'll claim. Masquerading as innovative concepts or global domination masquerading as generosity. Be sure it's not that easy. A UBA program, if implemented correctly, has the potential to increase rather than decrease people's financial freedom. With transparent procedures, easy to understand rules, and the choice to participate or not, people could spend, save, sell, or create as they pleased. That's empowering individuals, not coercion. What then are the telltale indicators that something like this is being considered? Recent months have seen the release of both official and unofficial documents detailing conversations regarding digital equity, worldwide division of assets, and decentralized economic participation. The World Economic Forum has published multiple papers discussing the potential of blockchain technology to facilitate global cooperation. There have been rumors circulating that government entities are secretly purchasing large XP holdings, and more than 40 central banks have joined forces with Ripple. Additionally, initiatives similar to the UBI have been piloted in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa using blockchain technology. Startups or gnosis would often run these. People can get consistent currencies or tokens from these applications based on the verification of their name and location. So far, the findings with XR seem promising. While the infrastructure is still only being tested on a small scale, the technological know-how of XRPL and the existing alliances of Ripple. Nowadays, going global is more of a challenge when it comes to really getting things done than a technological one. However, we must not overlook the advantages for governments. In the long term, governments could profit from issuing XRP. The more people use and purchase XRP, the more valuable it will become, and the greater value their savings will have. The government can use it as a means to, rather than just spending money, invest, distribute, and raise an object's value. This could result in a positive feedback loop. Greater distribution leads to higher demand, which in turn increases prices and reserve values, which in turn allows for further greater distribution. We can now discuss the fate of early XRP buyers. If a worldwide UBA plan launches today, XRP holders will become extremely wealthy. This is true regardless of how valuable or expensive it is. Your XRP would find widespread usage in international identification systems, social media applications, online marketplaces, and payment systems. It would transform from a cheap asset into the cornerstone of a financial revolution. The onus of responsibility is also on you. A lot of knowledge, awareness, and preparation are required when one has a lot of money. The onus is on early adopters to demand moral implementation. We must stand up for open source software, equitable governance, and honesty, to prevent a small group of individuals from amassing too much power and the program from being a covert surveillance weapon. We must ensure its continued independence. The story does not end here. A lot of people are discussing it in executive suites